Okay, I know I'm live. It looks like on. Do that. Okay, I'm live on YouTube. So, hey, good to see you. I'm live on TikTok. All right, hello, everybody. So, on YouTube, we already have a comment. A great opportunity for Swanson, Rodman, and Smith to go off. Maybe that's, a goal in the first 10 to 20 would be ideal. I don't disagree. Okay, people are coming in on TikTok. Oh, we already got 9 on YouTube. We're beating TikTok as people come in. Okay, now TikTok is, now there's 15 of you. So, hello, if you're, again, new here, talking U.S. Women's National Team before the quarterfinal. I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. So you're all here, all of us together. I know it's early, but just it's a good warm up for the Arsenal season. I know you're tired. Yes, I am tired. I'm doing okay now because I've warmed up. But I mean, look at the bags. Like I should have used those gel things that TikTok shop is trying to get me to sell. But good morning, everybody. Thoughts on Kristen Press? I thought she had a great debut. It was only a few minutes, but it was super fun. She, still looks like the player she's always been, which is good and a little surprising given the surgeries. Nice penalty. I thought ACFC in general had great penalties, but it was good. You had an alarm set for this live. Well, thank you. Thank you for hanging out. I'm like, everybody wake up. Okay. Who is the Japan player that you wanted to start? And is she? She's not. It's Tanikawa. She's not starting. And wanted and not wanted because I wanted them to be dumb enough not to start her in this. So I seem legit worried about the Japanese. Yeah, I am. I'm worried about them because this is not the way I wanted to play them. The Sam Coffey conversation is interesting because I've seen in my comment section a lot of people who are like, Sam Coffey's overrated. The one player we couldn't lose is Gurma. And, I didn't say Sam Coffey's our best player. I said she's the player we couldn't lose. If we lost, assuming Tierna Davidson was available, if you lose Gurma, you have Tierna Davidson and Emily Sonnet who play center back together at club. So it's not really the end of the world. It's not great because Naomi Gurma is the best player on the team and a world-class center back, but it's not, doomsday. Not to say that this is doomsday either. I think this could be okay, but there's just not a great alternative. Corbin Albert is not a true 6. She doesn't play a holding midfield position by herself. You're really relying on Haran to actually drop back and help, which is, going to be interesting. So, and I think for folks saying Sam Coffey's overrated, I think you all have been spoiled because the vast majority of U.S. Women's National Team fans got to know the holding midfield position by watching Julie Ertz, and Julie Ertz is a generational 6. So Sam Coffey is good. She's just not Julie Ertz. So y'all been spoiled. That's it. Let's hope Haran is the game of her life. 1,000% double pivot today. That's what is projected, and that's what should be happening. But again, it's not going to be a true double pivot. You've got 2 people playing in the midfield that are supposed to be holding that do not generally hold. So I don't think it's going to be it should be a double pivot, but it's not going to quite look like it. Super worried about Sonnet keeping people on side. She has a tendency to drop back when everybody else holds the line. Yes, that's correct. But you know what? Like, I think they're okay when Gurma is there. I just want to, again, stress, as I did on my lives before, that I think so much of what you saw with Emily Sonnet's dysfunction was her and Jenna Neiswanger playing that half together. They do not play well together. She's dropping and moving at the wrong times, largely to try to cover for the fact that Jenna Neiswanger is moving at the wrong times too. So it's just kind of a bad chain effect. You notice at club, they do not play together on the same side. So do you think Sonnet move to the midfield later in the match? I would be surprised. Will Jay get some minutes? I would be surprised. But we also only have 17 players on the bench. So Sam Coffey, we do not get a replacement alternate for. We just have 17 on the bench today. I think that's difficult. Okay. Jory Nicholson, I need a double pivot video. I always think I have it and I don't. I can totally do that for you. Not a problem. Yep, we need the US to take advantage of the height difference. Completely agree. Listen, Lindsay, like, this is your time now. Lindsay Haran, like, you got to give us some goals. I hope we worked on corner kicks because I really think it's a good idea. Is Hal part of the roster today? No, she's not. Are Japan going to care about possession? Not necessarily. I'm glad Tanikawa isn't starting. Same. She scares me. She's very good. Is Corbin Albert the right call with Tierna Davidson and Coffey out? I think she is probably the correct call. I think that was the easiest substitution you could make. Your other options really involve probably playing somebody else at center back besides Emily Sonnet. Yes, if we lose today, the U.S. is off the podium. This is do or die. We are in a quarterfinal, so if you lose, you go home. Let's see. I want to see an Angry Haran goal like versus the Netherlands. That's what I'm seeing in my head. I think she's going to do it. I believe in her. Let's see. Casey could go to center back, yeah. And you have Emily Sams on the bench who is playing center back for Orlando. But again, like back lines for me are a chemistry game. They are about your team being able to, like, I will take somebody who is not great in certain ways as long as they can move with that back line well. Like, that is the key thing. So if that back line is played together more, they're more likely to move together. In backlines where people don't trust each other, don't know where they're going to be, that's when you start seeing players dropping and pushing at the wrong times and not moving together. That's how you have gaps that the other team exploits. So, again, my single biggest concern whenever we're talking about a backline is, does this backline have chemistry together? Because if they don't and they don't trust each other, even the best defenders will start doing 1v1 stuff and just doing stuff to cover, and then it's a mess. It's why Kelly Hubley or is it Hubley or Hubley? I'm always forgetting. Those differentiators and the sounds are hard. But it's one of the reasons she's kind of a mess over at Portland for me, is because she's somebody who's also, as you see this also with defenders who are like really fast, as they rely so much on their own speed to cover for their own positioning mistakes. So, should we rest the players against Australia? I think so. Emily Sams can play the 6. She can. Yep. But again, I don't think you're going to see her. I never wake up this early, so only for USWNT's national team. So I'm, y'all, I know I seem tired on here, and I definitely am. But like, I'm usually up at 5. So like, this is not new for me in terms of the wake up time. It's just the, hello, we're going to talk and like be alive part. So why isn't Hal on the roster? Hal's an alternate, and there was, they chose to sub in Emily Sams instead of Hal for Junior Davidson. When do you go to bed? I'm usually a 9:30 to 10 to bed person. So, and I say I get up at 5, but it's kind of like I linger. So my husband gets up at 5 usually to go to work, and then I kind of linger till 6. So I like snuggle and snooze with the dogs. Ella Stevens needs to call up, and she absolutely could be. Do I think Japan plays a low block today? No. I think maybe a mid block. That wouldn't surprise me, but I also would not be surprised to see them play a high press or do something. That's the thing, is they can come out so many different ways. Do I think Abby Dahlkemper should have been an alternate? No. Shaw will now get a medal. She will, which is great. What did I think of Press's penalty? I thought her penalty was great. I thought everybody on ACFC had great penalties. That was probably the best round of penalties I have ever seen. It was great. So starting 11 thoughts. Look, I'm nervous, I think, like most people, about the lack of Sam Coffey. It should be a double pivot with Albert and Haran, but that's 2 players that don't normally play the holding spot. And you're asking them to hold against a fairly good midfield. So I'm nervous for sure. But this is kind of the boat you're in. And for the boat we're in, I think this is probably what I would have done as well. So I think this was probably your best option. Are we feeling more excited or nervous for this game? I'm nervous. I don't think I'm excited. I think I would have been excited with Davidson and Sam Coffey, and I think we were looking really good. But I would definitely categorize my own feelings at this point as nervous. Thoughts on the yellow card accumulation? I think it's crap. I don't think it should be a thing when you only have this many players on a roster. I think it risks player safety. And the whole point of yellow card accumulation rules is meant to protect player safety. But if you've only got 18 players on a roster and now you're forcing somebody, like what if Trinity Rodman had also gotten yellow and we were down to 16 for this match? Like, that's not good for player safety. So I don't ultimately support it. Nervous for the Trinity yellow card? I'm not that nervous. I love Trinity Rodman. I think she's great. And again, I don't think the people that would sub in for her are necessarily better than her or as good as her. But I think you have options that will also do well. So, I think Trinity will keep it together, but who knows? Let's see. No, Trin still has a yellow. The next round, it'll go away. I have no idea who's getting the Australia job. There's just not a lot available, honestly. There's really not a ton of coaching available right now. So, let's see. If alternates are on the bench, they do get a medal. So, yeah, we need Mal Swanson's got to come out and do it. Let's get Mal cooking. Let's see. Japan has been playing compact with 2 up top to try and transition. I'm nervous, but with Gerba back there, I'm less nervous. Yeah, I think that's correct. So I mean, Naomi Girma makes things a lot easier, but that is how they've been playing. We'll see if they come out that way, because they can come out so many different ways. Brazil game prediction is Wendy Renard in. That's where I just know Wendy, no party. If they've got Wendy, if France has Wendy, France wins. But no Wendy, Brazil wins. I think also Brazil is obviously going to be like peak do it for Marta. I'd rather see us play Canada. I want to personally knock them out. Not me personally, but you know what I mean. And I know nobody wants to see USA Canada again. We've seen them match up too many times. But I don't want to play Germany. I don't want to play Germany again. I think beating the same team twice in one tournament is very hard. Especially beating a good team twice in one tournament. If we go through who we play next, we play the winner of Canada, Colombia. Sorry, not Canada, Colombia. Jeez, guys, sorry. Canada, Germany. Waterloo at this hour. Listen, what am I supposed to be drinking? My coffee's still brewing. I needed something crispy, I just wanted something crispy. Other than their midfield, what are Japan's strengths? I think generally just their team structure is very good. They move together as a good unit. The defense always holds their shape pretty well. And also their flexibility in general. And these are all to have both the structure that they have, where they will actually hold positions that they're supposed to, and also the flexibility to do that in multiple different permutations, which gives you a lot of room to adjust. That's a real strength. So I think that makes them, they're also just lethal in the transition. A lot of these things really do come down to midfield, but they're just good. Emma Hayes makes me question the players she brought. Does she fear there's a lack of depth? Does she have to rely on the same players? So, I have a lot of questions about that end of it, and I think if we do get eliminated today, that's going to be kind of the talking point, is you didn't play a lot of the players you brought. You openly made comments about some of them not being ready for their Olympic debut. So what was going on with the roster decisions? And it's a little bit excusable just given that she was only really here for 6 weeks. I think what we've learned in large part is that she had a lot less say pre-June than I think a lot of us thought she did. So it'll be interesting. Yes, the Japan team is very young. Look less disciplined against Spain. Yeah, but that was they're getting better. But yes, I don't disagree. I don't think we'll see Shaw today, but I also think there's only 17 players there, so I could be wrong about that. Is there any way to watch the game without having Peacock? Yes, it's on USA. If you don't know USA, it's the one that's always got, it's like an NCIS marathon or a Law & Order SVU marathon on Tuesdays. It's like if you're homesick from school type channel. Let's see. Hindsight 2020, who would you have brought that we left at home that would fix the Davidson coffee thing? I think what I would have done is played Hal Hirschfeld more, honestly. I don't think you have to even bring a different group of people. I think you just needed to give Hal Hirschfeld actual time, in games earlier. I think you needed to be developing options at the 6, frankly, at Gold Cup that weren't Sam Coffey. You also could have just brought Andy Sullivan. I think you could have brought Andy Sullivan and probably been okay. So, and I actually really thought Andy Sullivan would end up being the alternate. You can't find the game on any USA Network. Well, I think that's what the women's game had listed in their graphics. So if they are wrong, it could be on E as well. Thank you, Ryan R, for loving my Pitbull sticker. If you have not seen that, I have a Honk for Mr. Worldwide bumper sticker. So, would like to see more people honking. It's on E. Okay, so I'm saying is it on E? Okay. Let's see. I'm starting to think she didn't even pick the bench players. Yeah. Let's see. It's confusing. Steph, thank you for the rose. Appreciate you. Let's see. Okay, it's on USA. You just have to wait for it to get closer. Thank you. I was gonna say I was pretty sure it was right. Do you think Christine Lewis will retire at the end of the season? Y'all, I don't even know. Sorry, I was gonna do a video for you on this. So Christine Lewis is actually training with West Ham, which was surprising to me because we have not heard anything about her signing. We haven't heard, anything really about what's going on with her. But she's back. Let's see. Is Shaw healthy enough for any minutes? She's healthy enough to be back on the roster, so I think she's healthy enough for minutes. Is she going to see any? Probably not, but there's only 17 players on the roster today. Let's see. Alex Flora, U.S. International. When she's healthy again, maybe. But, I don't know if you're asking me if she's eligible or if like she should get called in. I'm pretty sure she's eligible. She might be dual, but I'm pretty sure she's eligible. Let's see. Studio pregame and halftime commentators are not good. I haven't watched any of it because I've been here with y'all, but that wouldn't surprise me because frankly, like I think Foudy and Champion are okay. I think they're fine. The other commentators in the other matches have been kind of atrocious. So let's see. Coffee turning into the Andy Sullivan experiment. I mean, they're both sixes. Who I think like it's like we kind of like get set in on one and then we don't develop others, which is the mistake. If you could have one pro soccer player go live with you or on your podcast, who would it be? Ooh. Kimberly, I'm gonna have to think about that. There's a lot of people that I would like to talk to. Like, honestly, if I could join one live, I mean, I love the whole like on the men's side, I love the like Champions League crew. She's not a pro soccer player, but Kate Abdo, I would talk to in a heartbeat. That would be a dream for me. I think Kate Abdo is just very good at her job. But joining that whole team for like even 5 minutes, or 30 seconds, would be like a dream for me. I just think they're so fun. So let's see. I think we'll see Shaw only if we go into extra time. I think that's probably correct. Okay, yes. Everybody's asking if we see Shaw. So I don't think we will see Shaw unless extra time, as noted there. Just mainly because we only have 17 players. Would any attacking players ever play in attacking midfield? I mean, I think a couple of them could. I think you could play Mal Swanson there at a pinch if you really needed to. Will Alex retire this year? I think from international play potentially, but not from. I think she's planning to be in San Diego and play in San Diego for a minute. So I think you'll probably get another couple seasons of her in San Diego. I don't know if you'll see her on the national team again. Let's see. Final score prediction. I mean, I think we're getting this done. It just wouldn't surprise me if this goes all the way to penalties. So I hope it doesn't. But I'm going to go with 1-1, 2-1, something in that range. I think this is Haran's game today. Like, Haran needs to have a big game. We need to see Haran getting a goal. I want to see her scoring aerially. So, Lynn Williams today, yes. I think you absolutely will see Lynn Williams today. Lynn Williams is another player who I think does well in this matchup. Okay. Let's see. Japan penalties versus Brazil were atrocious as she plays. Oh yeah! Oh my god! I forgot about that. That was that like horrible. Yeah, that was bad. I like her odds there. Let's see. Who are players you see Hayes dropping after the Olympics? Just seeing the performance. It's really hard to say. I think just it's not about performance. I just think everybody on the wrong side of 30 is probably going to get phased out unless they're like a really key part of it where there's no good alternative. So let's see. 3-1 going big. Mal and Haran, I think it said, and then disappeared. I like it. Let's see. Does Japan play in low block? They can. I don't think they're going to, but they can. I mean, they can play any way. Like that is their strength, is that they can come out any way. Do I think Kristen Press will return to the U.S. roster? Probably not. I think that's extremely unlikely. Like she is 35 already. She's turning 36. It's even if she looks better than I expected she would. Just frankly, even from the first bit of minutes coming back, and that's hard with the number of surgeries she had, and the number of years she's been out. But like ultimately, you have to move on to players. You're preparing after this Olympics. You're preparing for 2027. So if a player is not likely to be available to you in 2027, that player is not making this roster. For 2027 World Cup, you're talking about Kristen Press being 38, turning 39. So certainly it's possible. It's not impossible. But in a player pool as deep as the U.S. Women's National Team's pool, I don't see it. Do you think we see Sam's if we go into extra time? No. I don't think you've seen Sam's. That's part of why I think you have a higher likelihood of seeing Shaw, even though normally I think Emma probably wouldn't do it, is because at some point if we go into extra time, you have to rotate a little bit. But Sam hasn't played a minute with the U.S. Women's National Team. I'd be surprised, very surprised. Let's see. Like to have more set pieces today. Completely agree. Who do I think the PK takers are? No idea. Very hard to say, especially with like things of, we have different people available to us. There's not a lot of, like, this roster is small, so I don't know who will sub in. We will see. Thoughts on Ashley Sanchez? I think she's playing the best she's played. Stadium's full. Love it. Let's see. What do I think we need to do to win? I think the double pivot needs to hold. That's what I think they got to actually stay back. And if they can do that, we should shut down their flow, and then that should give us some better distribution up top. You also got to just continue stretching, and I think you got to take advantage of set pieces. Like, you have a massive size difference here. Take advantage of set pieces. What's a double pivot? It's when you play with two defensive mids and they hold back together. So oftentimes you only play with one player holding back that kind of like sits back a little bit more. With a double pivot, you play with two. It disrupts passing lanes through the other team's attacking mid. Yeah, it's just two defensive mids. Let's see. Chances of Hal coming off the alternate list depends on if anybody else is not available. But I think, at this point, low chances. Johannes for 2027 would be massive. Completely agree. When am I going to be the coach? I'm not. Let's see. Thoughts on Corbin? I thought last game was the best we've seen her play in a minute. So last game made me a little more optimistic for today. So I think, I don't think she's a 6. I do not think this is where she naturally likes to play. I don't think it's where Haran naturally likes to play. So that's a problem. Let's see. Do you think Vlatko's World Cup team would be successful under Hayes? That is an interesting question, Christian. That is an interesting one. I'm gonna have to think on that. I think it's interesting because I'm like, I think so, because a lot of the pieces are still there that are successful, and part of where Vlatko got in trouble was just like players getting isolated and like left on an island. So let's see. I've watched a little bit of women's gymnastics. I watched trampoline yesterday. That was wild. Oh my god. Do you think Germany will beat Canada? No. I think Canada's going to get one more before we knock them out, ideally. So, although I don't want to watch us play Canada again either. I know we've seen this matchup too many times this year. So, will Haran make it to another Olympics or World Cup? Possibly. I would say she's going to be on the fence, just age-wise. But yeah, possibly. Okay, game starting. They're walking out. All right, y'all. You know the drill. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe if you don't already. That's just kind of, frankly, to the extent that I monetize any of this, that is how I get paid. So feel free to help. But it is super fun to see you all here. We'll be here again at halftime. We'll be here live after the game as well. Let's fucking go. And I always say bye to YouTube second. So see y'all later.